Hey guys, if you're like me, trying to build a perfect website can be quite the headache. But Readdy has AI that's going to help you do it, and it's going to totally revolutionize how you create that dream website. So there's no drag and drop. You can publish it instantly or even export it as a code and Figma as well. So don't do anything yet except for jumping to the description and following along with me. Getting signed up and getting started is very, very fast, very, very easy. Just the email address is all you need. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start creating that perfect website. Okay, now I'm already here, signed in and ready to rock and roll. So here we're going to see like my name here, and then we can create a new project, or we can just start right here. Now we can do it with desktop or mobile. I'm going to do it for desktop. And what I want to do for this video is just create a pretty cool website with a scooter company. I love scooters. I find them to be really, really fun. So that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to give it the prompt. So we're going to tell it about a style. We're going to tell it what we need, right? But for the video, I'm just going to keep it simple. So the better you create your prompt, or the more the information that you're going to tell it, just like anything with AI, is going to create a better website. But don't worry, you can go in and change it and add, remove stuff too, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So, for example, my prompt, my very basic prompt, I need a website for a scooter company. The style should be futuristic and simple. That's it. So I'm going to click here, and now it's going to start working on the architecture of the website. So just kind of giving us a step-by-step, so how it's based around, right? So the headers, the contact information, you can kind of see it on the screen here, footer and whatnot. So if you want to change it, we'll tell it what we like to edit it. We'll do that. But for the sake of things, I'm just going to say generate, so it will we'll start generating and pop up with what we need, just to kind of show you guys what's going on. So you can also add reference images too for better results. It's kind of giving you those little tips and tricks here. So you can do that. So if you have an idea, you would just upload it, say, hey, I kind of want it to look like this, and so forth. Pretty simple. All right, now we have our simple futuristic website for our motorbike, right? So for our scooters, whichever you want to call them, right? So pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty interesting to be honest, right? So here, revolutionary features, and you can see all of this right here. That's going to give us some options, and we're going to cover that in just a second. But let's talk about the text, for example. So you can see that says logo. This is probably where I'm going to want to put my name. So, when we're talking about doing something with like the text or whatnot, we will click the selector, and that way we can select a part of the page as a target to actually have that more dialed in for us. Okay, so anything you want to change to it, you will just tell what it should be, right? So, for example, the name, we could tell it, we could give it a more specific name if we would like. We could do that as well. But let's talk about changing the photos, for example. So, if you want to change some of the photos that we have, that's available, like our scooter models, for example, we would just click selector, and then we'd select from the page. You can see that it's highlighted everything. Okay, so like I said, you click the selector page, and then we'll go up and change the logo. So here, now that we've selected it, we could change the text and even add a link if we want to. So we could say simplicity, right? Simplicity. Something like this. Simplicity bikes, right? And then we just click save. And then it's going to change that. Now, my internet is running just a little bit slow, but you're going to see it kind of do. There we go. And it's working on it. And version 2, I've updated the logo text from logo to simplicity bikes. And very good. There we go. And we could even put a link there, so when you click on it, it takes you somewhere else, right? So it's just as simple as that. And now while I'm on the whole selector button here, you'll select selector if you want to change the images as well. So we could click on this, and then we can change the image. Now, here we could replace it with something that we already have. If you have one, or if you want to remove the background, we could do that as well. So we can upload one and then remove the background, or perhaps even better yet, we could say generate a new one. So a sports scooter with 3 lights. I don't know, something just to give you an idea. And then we'll click generate the background. So here we have background that's generated, and we can apply it there as well. So we'll just click apply, I'm just kind of showing you some of the features that kind of come through. And then the same thing, if you wanted to do like the main page here, we could do that as well. All right, so now we've covered images, we've covered the text, but what about some of the buttons that we have, right? So for example, explore models, if you click on that, you're gonna be able to see a continue to generate. Now, what this is going to do is start generating more info onto your website. So this way you're going to actually have a sub. Now we can see right here. Now thinking about the page structure, of course, so explore models button on the hero section. So we want to see more detailed information, right? So like the filter section, a navigational bar, models. And here, when I'm building the website, maybe I'm not thinking about some of this information. So AI is doing it for me, which is saving me lots and lots of time and even making it well better than I could even imagine. So here I'm going to click generate and then allow it to start generating that stuff based on that architecture for that hero. All right, so everything is generated right now. We have the navigational bar, the filter section, we have the models grid display. You can kind of see it over here, even with select colors. Now remember, if you want to add this information or change it, we just need to tell it. For example, like for the Neo Scoot Air, please add green and add blue for this model. That's all you have to say, right? We could say it like that. And as you scroll down, that's all of our products. So the more information we give it, the better, right? So now our page is done, but let me tell you about something else, right? So I'm going to go back to the home page, and this way I want to show you what we could do to make our page even stand out more with certain effects, such as like particles, for example, or even typewriter effects. And let's do that right now. All right. So now I'm back at the home page, and now we're going to talk about the different effects that we can do. So what I want to add here is I want to add a little bit more of, you can see the particle effects, but maybe I want to do let's just say, for example, I want to make it more intense, right? So here I'm going to give it my prompt right here, which is I want it to be more intense. There should be more particles moving at a higher speed. And then it's going to think and start working its magic. All right, so now I started working on it very fast. So what they've done so far, you can see it's kind of reading over. It's saying increase the number of particles from 50 to 150, reduce the animation during range, and added rotation to the movement, made the movement more dynamic. Now, we could change these numbers, of course, so we can just copy this, change the numbers if we want to make it more intense. That's all you have to do. That's what's awesome about AI. And now it's moving and it's more appealing, it's more engaging, so we can kind of see more. Oh, it attacks more attention, right? So it's grabbing that attention and showing it to your clients or potential clients, anyways. All right, now we went through the most beautiful parts about using AI, but let's talk about the data collection, which is really, really important for your website, right? So now we can do that. So now we've created our website, so we're going to go down to our forms. So here we're going to be able to create forms as well, and we can change them just as I've told you before. But for example, I want to run a test and start building this, right? So I'm going, there we go. Now I've sent tests. Now we want to create data collection. So we'll click on that, and now we'll have new form. So here we have this information, and we can kind of change it as well. So again, just test, and then we'll save it, and that's going to be our new form. So this is what it's doing. So I'll help you modify the contact form to include proper submission functionality according to the requirements. So this is how we're changing that right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this kind of go ahead and do it. Now it's just going to say test, and we can change it in any kind of way, right? So we can say, again, I said test, and it's not letting us do it right now because it's still generating. But in general, if we want to change, send us a message, if we want to add anything else, we're going to be able to do that as well. So, and it's just checking and making sure everything, here we go. Now, the contact form with proper form submission functionality. Here are the key changes. Added proper from the attributes, including action URL and encoding types, and added the name attributes to all form fields. So let's kind of go back down and check it out. There we go. Select the inquiry type. And now we have all of this information. So we've updated that, and now we can go to like data collection, for example. And now what we were doing earlier, if you notice, now this actually has made it so where we could collect our data. And this is everything else. Now, you remember, I changed that name to test. This is it right here. And we could even export that. Speaking of export, let's talk about your project, your website. Now, maybe you want to export it. Maybe we're done with it. You're done right here, right? So when you click this little down button right here, we can export it to Creatity as well. We could share it and even get the code. So if we just clicked on code, this is going to come up here and provide us with that code. Now, once you unclick and then sharing it as well, we're going to be able to share it with our team members as well. And look at that, pretty cool, right? So now we're looking at everything. Very good. We're going to go back to test ride. I'm sorry, not test ride, but this is the button where we want to say, ooh, we want to take a test for the scooter, but we're going to go back to the main page. All right, so we're good to go. We're just taking a look. Now let's go to publish. Now choose a different page name. The page name will be used to generate the URL. Please make sure that each page in the project has its own unique page name. Got it. Now we'll do that right here. So you can see that it has the different names. Right now we could rename it. I'm just going to, for the sake of it, just say 1 and 2, but you will change it to something else accordingly, right? Now we change that, and here we go. Now we'll choose our domain, and we can even set up the DNS of our domain right here. So we'll add whatever we want to do. We set it the homepage, right? And we can set the homepage to either one that we want to use, and then we'll just say publish. So we'll just choose our domain there, and that's how you publish the website. So once you already have a domain, you just enter it there, and you're good to go. Now I'm going to export it to Creatity, and this is where it's starting to work on everything. So visit the Creatity and paste the file in the canvas. And there you go. And then you can do that. And you can even copy the file right there and just jump to it in the same thing. So this way, you're in Canvas and Figma and everything else, you're going to be able to go ahead and publish it. So go ahead and start creating your dream website, guys, and have lots of fun. And AI is going to be the ultimate assistant in getting you that web page that's going to get you more views. It's going to be more engaging and more clients as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and be sure to jump into the description and try it now.